The pace of life can mean that we can lose our sense of what is important, and sometimes we have to stop and ask ourselves, what would we do if money was no object? So how would you really like to spend your life? I guess the team from Fly Bubble Paragliding find the answer in this absolutely outstanding and emotional, short motivational video.
Another person says, well, I'd like to live an out-of-doors life and ride horses. What do you want to do? When we finally got down to something which the individual says he really wants to do, I will say to him, you do that.
And if you want to watch more magic shots from this movie, visit the Fly Bubble Paragliding YouTube channel. But don't go just yet. I've got all the fresh aviation news from the last 7 days. I'm Regan Tetlow, and this is Air Sports News. This has to be the first news item in this episode because it's something literally from another planet. NASA's Perseverance rover touched down on Mars on Thursday afternoon, 203 days after it launched from Florida's Cape Canaveral, and just 2 days ago, NASA released a full video of the landing procedure. The real footage in this video was captured by several cameras that are part of the rover's entry, descent and landing suite. The views include a camera looking down from the spacecraft's descent stage, one on the rover looking up at the descent stage, another one on the top of the aeroshell looking up at the parachute, and one more at the bottom of the rover looking down at the Martian surface.
Touchdown confirmed. Perseverance safely on the surface of Mars, ready to begin seeking the signs of past life.
Perseverance brings to Mars the first rotorcraft, which will soon start its first flyable mission on another planet. Can't wait to see the rover from the sky and the helicopter from the rover. Last weekend, the 8th edition of the Norway Targ Winter Balloon Competition Cup was held. 29 balloonists made several amazing morning and evening flights in the beautiful Polish Tatra mountainside with snowy white surfaces and clear blue skies. Jakub Jedzak took the first place in the competition, beating Damian Nechka on the second place and Roman Borter on third. And we have some great FPV drone footage of the event brought by Mikhail Wojcicki. It's not only balloonists from Poland making an early start on the 2021 season, also pilots in Germany have had enough of being grounded by the coronavirus restrictions, and they've managed to create a completely new competition with regulations to stay safe in the pandemic, but also with legal flights. I spoke with talented German pilot Benny Eimers about the competition and his record flight.
No Gordon Bennett last year, fingers crossed for this year. But let's talk about last Sunday. What an event you had. Tell me a little bit about where you were and what was happening.
Okay, so we have, because of Corona, we tried to make a new competition for ballooning here in Germany. So we invented a new competition that you make a distance flight and a duration flight. And that contest will end of this month. So from now on, it's 9 days still on. And so we have 20 competitors, and you need to make a duration flight and a distance flight. So the best flights will be counted and to get the trophy. So last Sunday I did my distance flight, and I took off in the northern part of Germany, close to Hanover in Salzgitter, and the wind was so good in the upper high, close to flight level 190, get me to Italy. So in a balloon, it was a very good flight.
Now this record, I've just got some notes here, this distance record, 36 years old, 1984, it was 674 kilometers. That's what you've just took from a 36-year record.
Yeah, that's so we have different sizes of balloons and different records. But this record, that was 36 years old. And it was quite difficult to beat it because the balloon is so small. to get so much lift, and last Sunday we had very, very cold temperatures. So I think there was the coldest day since 10 or 15 years. It was minus 17 degrees, so here in Germany at ground, and so that was perfect to get a lot of lift in the hot air balloon. So I took off with much more gas than you can get with you when it's too hot and warmer in the summertime. So you always fly records in the winter time when it's very cold, very important.
And you had full sun conditions and high pressure as well. This also helps, doesn't it?
Yeah, sure. This balloon is made for record flights. This balloon is almost black to get the solar heating of the sun. Yeah. And the thing is, when later on, when you use some gas, your system will be getting less heavier. So and when you don't have so much weight on it, you can use the solar heating, and that saves you a lot of gas. That's very good to make a long flight. So I carried about 420 liters of propane with me.
To know more from Benny, you can watch the full-length interview with him on our Air Sports Promotion YouTube channel right after the show. Results from Sky on Stage Throwback Special Edition have been finalised. This amazing online contest set by my good friend Tati Montenegro allows skydivers and tunnel flyers to compete by sending their performances in on YouTube, no matter where they were actually taken. Sky on Stage Throwback category classification is open to indoor and outdoor artistic skydiving routines from previous years. In the overall three-way, the Good Vibes won the competition. Team Kennett WG 2020 took the first place in the indoor freestyle solo. Freestyle Circus was the best in freestyle two-way, and Our Eyes on a Sky Surfer won in the Sky Surf category. Congratulations to you all. So in our program, we've already shown you some amazing radio-controlled flying models, especially from the Chocofly team based in Switzerland. But a few days ago, US aero modeler John Woodfield released a video with an unusual glider model with 2 sets of wings. Take a look. One of our previous Air Sports News guests has done another world's first. This British wingsuit pilot jumped from the peak of Africa's second highest mountain. Tim Howell, 31, was the first man in history to fly a wingsuit from the top of a British mountain, and he decided to go one better. Former Royal Marine Tim and photographer Ewan Harvey first scaled, then jumped from the daunting behemoth known as Mount Kenya at 4,883 metres, second only in height to Kilimanjaro. Now into the world of skydiving for this week's second special guest. She's a publisher, editor, skydiving coach, organiser of national and world records and international competitor. She's also been really busy during lockdown. It's my good friend, Leslie Gale.
Leslie, like you just said, we just had a little chat. We're normally together, aren't we, this time of year? We're normally in Spain, normally in Imperial Brava at Win Games for the last, 5, 6, 7 years.
Yeah, all the photos keep popping up on Facebook, and it makes me a bit sad that we're not there, but onwards and upwards, we just have to look forward to next year.
How are you coping with all this rubbish?
My house is incredibly clean, and I've got round to doing all those jobs that you mean to do. You know, when you decorate a room and you leave that last little bit, I'm doing all of that stuff. I'm nearly running out now, I'm about to go back out in the world.
We're similar in a way, though, because we've got online work. I mean, you've got the skydivemag.com, and that's obviously a big workload for you. The content you put out is incredible. There's so much stuff.
Thank you. Yes, I mean, the only thing that's changed for me really is not going to drop zones and not being able to go and hug my family. I spend all day here at home on the computer anyway, so that's not so different, and at least I can work from home.
So you're at the mag, you've started with the magazine, you're editing that, you've got a full-time job. Have you started competing yet in skydiving?
Yeah, when I took over the editor, then yes, I was already doing a lot of competition. It just started in small ways, I was at Langer jumping, and just a little, launching accuracy meet as it was in those days, or a little 8-way speed contest, and I just found that I liked it. And then I got my big break when Rob Colpus asked me to join the Symbiosis Suit 16-way team. And that was fabulous. Went all around Europe and all around UK. We won everything apart from when we entered the world meet, and then we got took it pretty good. Yeah. And that just really gave me a taste for competition. It wasn't something that I'd ever seen myself doing at the beginning, but I found that I really enjoyed it. It's that whole team thing, traveling together, getting somewhere, putting all your focus on celebrating together, at the end of it.
We've got almost half an hour of interesting interview that you can easily watch on the Air Sports Promotion YouTube channel with Leslie whenever you want. We have some great content from Andrea Goudini, Italian hang glider pilot, who caught some fresh early spring weather over Brescia City and captured it from various angles. It's fast, it's beautiful, and it's full of passion. A truly beautiful image is a wingsuit flight with lights mounted on the inside. We showed you some stunning video a few weeks ago from the top of the Burj Khalifa skyscraper in Dubai. But now skydiver Jarno Cordia has flown with lights inside the tunnel. Alright, and now it's about time for our Hero of the Week section. Fly Like a Girl is a 2020 documentary film directed by Katie McIntyre that shows young girls and women relentlessly pursuing their passion for aviation. A field currently dominated by men. In the movie, we can hear first-hand stories from girls and women who dared to aim higher. From a Lego-loving young girl who has included female pilots in her toy airplanes to a courageous woman who helped lead shuttle missions to space. Fly Like a Girl shows us that women are in charge of their own destiny. This great documentary can be downloaded from Amazon for just $13. On the 22nd of February 1974, Lieutenant Barbara Ann Allen from the United States Navy received her Wings of Gold and designation as a naval aviator. She was the first woman to be so designated. After completing 230 hours of flight training at Pensacola, Allen says she received her pilot's wings. On the 22nd of February 1928, Herbert John Louis Hinkler arrived at Darwin, North Territories in Australia. After flying solo from London, England, he had departed Croydon on the 7th of February, flying his Avro Avian, navigated by using a London Times atlas. The previous record time for the 11,000 miles, 18,000 kilometers, had been 28 days. An estimated 10,000 spectators watched his arrival. On the 27th of February 1898, Mérici Bastille was born. She was a French pilot and captain of military aviation. In 1936, she flew across the Atlantic Ocean from Dakar to Natal in 12 hours and 15 minutes on a Caudron Simonon plane. On February the 23rd, 1909, the Silver Dart, piloted by Douglas McCurdy, soared to a height of 9 meters and covered a distance of 800 meters in a 40-second flight. It was the first flight of a heavier-than-air machine in Canada and the first such flight by a citizen of the British Empire. That's all for the 6th edition of Air Sports News Season 5. I hope to see you back here again next week. Before that, you can write to us at news@airsportspromotion.com, register on the airsportsfan.com platform, or contact with me directly on Twitter. And for our final of this episode, we've got a song for you, written by Matthew Parker and Xander Sallows, and it's called Skydiving. So remember guys, to stay safe and keep your eyes on the skies.